Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, Rocky Mountain Gardens. And if this is your first time stopping by, my name is Mary, and I welcome you also. Today I'm filming this on Labor Day weekend. You'll see it a week later, I think. And I just am wishing that you had a wonderful and delightful weekend with your friends and family. Today I'm going to be sharing with you two flips. One is an old vanity that I got from my daughter for free when she redid her master bathroom. And then the other one is a beautiful vintage painting that I'm going to add to my gallery wall. And we'll talk about how to restore that also today. So let's get started on these projects. This is the vanity that I got from my daughter when they renovated their master bathroom. I said, oh, I can use that in my shed. And so here it is. And now I'm going to be using this Waverly chalk paint in the truffle color on this oak front, which has a little bit of a slick surface, and chalk paint sticks so well on that. Now, the truffle paint, I didn't have a lot of, just this one container. So I'm using it primarily on the front of this cabinet. I love the chalk paint because it sticks so well on any surface. And I only had to do one coat. Now moving on, the sides of this vanity are made of this, I don't know, MDF I think it's called. And as you saw there, I'm using the apple barrel burnt umber acrylic paint on this, and surprisingly it's almost a perfect match for the truffle that I used on the front. The colors are almost exactly the same because this acrylic paint is a matte finish like chalk paint is also, which helps it with the matching. And I just love how this turned out. It stuck so well, and it is just perfect for this project. Here's my cabinet with the first coat of paint on, and here's the top that I added. And guys, you can buy these small sheets of plywood, and I believe this plywood is only 1/4 inch in thickness, and I didn't need a really thick and heavy sturdy plank to put across the cabinet because I'm putting it under my potting bench in my garden shed, so it didn't need to have a lot of strength to it. And I just hammered it on with these small nails to keep it in place. It's not going to be moved around a lot, or like I said, anything put on top of it. So next step is just to paint it up as well. Plywood usually has a finished side, and then the other reverse side is rougher. So I made sure I nailed on the finished side to the top, and I also gave it a little bit of a sanding before I began painting with this burnt umber acrylic paint again. And so we'll finish this up. Our next step will be to use more chalk paint. This is a color called Elephant by Waverly. My goal here was to put some sort of wood striations on it to make it look a little more, I don't know, faux wood, I guess. And now I'm using this waxing brush with Varathane finishing wax to cover the entire piece, top, sides, and front, the drawers of course, to protect it over time. Next, I will be wiping back the wax with these shop towels. You can buy these at Walmart or really almost anywhere. They're lint free, but you can use any soft lint lint-free cloth for the project. To make a sign for my new cabinet, I took a piece of scrap wood and I painted it this pool color from Waverly chalk paint. Next, I waited for it to dry and then just drew out these letters to spell flowers. My next step will be to take this apple barrel paint called fuchsia and fill in the letters with a small paintbrush. So let's do that. Trying to create my own signs like this is a little daunting, and really it was scary for me the first time I did it. So I just wanted to let you know that in case you've thought about creating your own signs and making them look homemade. That's really the purpose here. Don't be afraid to give it a try, because if you make a mistake, you can always just paint over the mistake and redo it. I bought 3 mismatched drawer pulls. I wanted them to be colorful from Hobby Lobby when they were 50% off. And here you can see I'm just drilling a hole to attach the drawer pull, and I did that to, of course, the 2 drawers and the door to my cabinet. And aren't they kind of funky looking and cute? We're here in my potting shed again now, and right here underneath my potting bench is my finished cabinet. I just think it looks really cute and sort of funky, a little rustic and, you know, just colorful and cute. Right next on the left there is the piece that I did last time during Flipping Friday. And guys, I just love this. I know nothing matches, but that's sort of what I'm going for. That's sort of collected over time and time worn and colorful and vintagey looking, if that's such a word, but I think you know what I mean. And here's a close-up of those little appliques that I added to this top part of the cabinet. Before we start on our second project for today, I got a really great suggestion from one of my subscribers in Ireland, and he wondered if I would be interested in doing a Q&A video. And I thought, well, there's a lot you don't know about me, and if you would like to ask some questions, I sure will put together a video probably for October. And I hope you all would like to maybe ask me something about myself, and questions about gardening, questions about flipping thrifted items, or old things in your home, collections, the different topics that I talk about here on my channel. So if you have a question that has been something you'd like to have an answer to, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. Also, as a suggestion, one of my subscribers a while back asked me to do a video about my life in Germany and when I lived there. So that's probably one question that I will actually talk about in that Q&A video. Anyway, let's move on to project number 2. I am going to be redoing the frame on this painting that I got at Goodwill. It was a little pricey, $25, but it is perfect for my gallery wall. I have been looking for a beautiful scenic piece that I could add to my collection. And so it has some aspects to the frame that I'm not crazy about. So I'm going to go ahead and do some painting on that. I've been trying to determine if this is an oil painting. You can see some brush strokes, but I'm just not quite positive. And as you can see, the frame is nicked up quite a bit here, so that'll require some painting. Let's move this over to my island, and I'm working here in my kitchen, so we can start on the restoration that fits my style and my decor. First, I'm going to wipe down the frame. What I have read, if this is an oil painting, to remove dust, you can start in one corner, such as right over here, and start brushing. And you brush from the top of the painting down to remove any dust particles from it. And you are supposed to be sort of vigorous with your dusting. And actually this painting has been sitting in my garage for a while because I didn't have time to get to it for quite some time. But you know, when you find something in a thrift store that you love, you must snatch it right up immediately, because the next time you go, it would probably be gone. My next step is to paint the brown part of the frame. And I am using this burnt umber, and it is a matte finish, which is what I'm going for here. And then I added some of this Waverly chalk paint in the ink color, which is a black. And what I'm trying to do is get a brown, a darker brown than this burnt umber to better match the brown on this frame. To protect my painting, I have placed a piece of wax paper up there. And if you can scoot it under the frame a little bit, that's even better. And I'm going to be covering that coppery color that you see me pointing to with the brown paint first. And I've got my detail brush here to get that part of the project completed. I'm going to go ahead and change over to a bigger brush to do these outer areas that I can paint more quickly and cover the frame faster as I paint. So let's do that now. Now friends, we're going to move on to taking care of this gold. And if you have been a subscriber or followed me for a while, you know I'm not a big fan of gold. But I'm going to surprise you today. I'm not going to use pewter or silver to cover this. I'm going to do something a little different. I have mixed up this all-purpose acrylic paint. It's just a craft acrylic. It's called Deep Denim. And I have mixed this up and added a little bit of my Waverly chalk paint ink color, the black, to tone it down just a little bit. This is the color that I have, and it looks very pretty next to the brown that I've used on the rest of the frame. Guys, I follow an antique reseller and vintage reseller. His name is Scott, and his channel is called The Old Curiosity Shop. And if you're interested in learning more about antiques and vintage pieces, he is very knowledgeable. Now, he does resell, but it's okay because he is just full of information. And one of the things I heard him say recently is that with antique frames, they often used blue as a sort of accent color on the frames. So this is why I'm going with this color, and we'll see how this turns out. So I'm going back to my detail brush again, and we're going to be painting this, and then I'll show you how it turned out. My last step for this project is to add some Dixie Belle Best Dang Wax. This color is called Grunge Gray. And I'm going to go ahead and add a light coating of it to try to bring out some dimension in this sort of very rough surface. Let's give it a try. This is my gallery wall, and you can see that this painting seems to be a little on the dark side. But today I actually went out and bought some DIY white wax. DIY is a brand of chalk paint and wax and so on. Wondering if I should give that frame a coat of the white wax to brighten it up a bit. What do you guys think? I need your opinion. So let me know what you think. Like I said, don't forget to ask questions for my Q&A video down below in the comments. And lastly, thank you so much for stopping by my channel and watching my latest flips for things that are thrifted. I will see you again next Friday. Take care now. So long.